Good morning and welcome to our Health Transformation Day 90. Well, we did it, although what we did, I'm not quite sure. We managed to do 90 days with the videos. That is a big thing. I'm going to talk about just how I'm feeling today. So, my energy is 8, my mood is 7, motivation 8, and I had a pretty good sleep, 8 out of 10. Adam got up at about 9:30. His energy is 5 out of 10, mood 5 out of 10. Motivation 5 out of 10, sleep quality was 9 out of 10, and blood sugar still a little bit high at 6.8. So, here are my final stats. Now, I really wish the carnivore diet had worked out for me. I felt like that was something I could have stuck with and completed 90 days worth of because it was pretty easy. Unfortunately, the way I react to amines was a huge problem, and the lack of sleep was the issue there. So, this might be something I can revisit in the future, but knowing how much amines affect me was actually quite surprising because I always put it down to salicylates affecting me. Anyway, overall, I gained 6.2 kilos from day one. I put 2 centimetres on my chest, 7 centimetres on my waist. My hips stayed the same. My right arm went up by 1 centimetre, my right leg by 1 centimetre, and my neck by half a centimetre. We have lost the rulers that we did the initial visceral fat with, and because one of them was bent, any other rulers that I use are going to do an inaccurate reading. So I just didn't bother with that. So what's really worrying is how much my waist has gone up in 90 days. Now, initially it went down, but then when we came off the carnivore, not the carnivore, but more the restrictive diet, it it just ballooned. So that's a bit scary, knowing that it can happen that fast. But I really did go into a bit of a free fall with what I was eating, and so these results are understandable given what I was eating. I am much fitter though, surprisingly. So I can walk further and faster than I used to. So just doing that daily effort of making sure I go for a walk every single day and doing a good walk most days. There have been a few days where I haven't, but most days I've done a fairly decent walk. And I can just imagine that if I wasn't walking daily, that these results would be worse than what they are. Overall, I think when we came off the carnivore diet, my boundaries just went. And I'm a person who has a lot of water in my zodiac sign. I need some boundaries. And I was kind of thrown then because in my mind it was this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to do it for 90 days. So when we came off, I was really, really thrown and kind of boundaryless, if you like. And I feel that if I'd gone and made some hard and fast rules right away, I would have been fine, but I didn't. I just kind of went, well, I don't know what to do now because I'm reacting to everything I put in my mouth. So that is definitely something that I think led to the disaster that was, or that is. And I feel that I can move forward knowing that I'm a person who needs rules and I need boundaries to stay where I need to do. I also need to look at what else is holding me back from doing the best for myself. And that's not always an easy journey, but I have done a lot of work around that and I have improved a lot. But this seems to be the last area of my life that I'm really not working well in. And I am positive that I can help myself here. It may just be a matter of more time. Adam did a little bit better. He is younger and he also is on testosterone, so that does help with metabolism. Overall, he lost half a kilo. He lost half a centimetre from his chest, 1.5 centimetres from his waist, 1.5 centimetres from his hips. His arms stayed the same. It did at some point go down. Right leg went down by 1 centimetre. His neck went down by 1 centimetre, and once again, we didn't do the visceral fat. I have noticed with him that his face was getting quite angular before, and now it's sort of puffed up again and become quite round. So I think there is definitely visceral fat there. What have we learnt? We've learnt a lot. um, I think really having to document what's going on with me and how I feel every day has been a real eye opener, and how food definitely affects my mood and my vitality. And before, I've always kind of gone, oh, yeah, yeah, everyone knows that, but not really taking it on board. So, this is something that I really would like to concentrate on and really look at for myself, is what I'm eating helping or hindering me. Adam said that one of the things he's learnt is how much food affects his blood sugars. Now, he kind of knew it did, and I definitely knew it did, but to see it in action was really interesting, because he just has to stray off the path of low carb and his blood sugars go wild. And yeah, very, very interesting. Even with the amount of exercise he does, they still go quite wild. So that's something that he has learnt. I did touch on earlier how much amines have affected me, and I feel that that has been a real eye opener. And having to moderate my diet to avoid both amines and salicylates is a real challenge, particularly given that I'm addicted to chocolate, which is really high in amines. But I am hopeful that in the future I can overcome this and I can work around it. I'm still looking for some solutions. One thing I noticed that did affect me, and I haven't been so great at doing in the last few weeks, is grounding my energy into Mother Earth. And this is always such a good practice for me in the warmer months. Since it's gotten a lot chillier, I'm a lot more reluctant to do it. And trying to find a warm time during the day when it's not raining to get outside with my bare feet on the earth has been a challenge. And that definitely affects how I feel. And noticing as well on a daily basis how my own energy is impacted by other people's. I always knew that it had an impact on me because I anecdotally noticed it. But when I'm recording how I'm feeling on a day-to-day basis, I can really see the patterns where I've had contact in a hospital, for example. I've sat in a hospital and then the next day or the next couple of days, my energy is much lower because I am taking on other people's stuff during that visit. So that definitely has come home to me as well. I really wish I could have helped my health more during this time. I will keep striving to do that. And I also think when you look at the law of manifestation or manifesting, when you're concentrating on something a lot, you're actually growing more of it. So when I'm every day concentrating on my amines and salicylates and how they're affecting my body, maybe I'm impacting that as well. That's something to think about anyway. I am going to say that it was very challenging for me to initiate this project because I was exposing myself to the world essentially. And I have to say now at day 90, I feel the same way about the results I've gained. I feel very vulnerable about it. And because it's deemed, in air quotes, a failure. And yeah, I recognize that I haven't done the best for myself here, and I feel that that might be judged very harshly. So please be kind. So, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to keep working on our health. It takes me between 1 to 2 hours a day to produce these videos, even when they're only 3 minutes long. So it does take up a fair bit of my time. So I'm very reluctant to keep on filming. Plus, it's not very interesting when we're not doing much, and we're not making many gains. I guess if there's anything monumental to say about our health, I will pop up a video about it. But as it stands, I think this will be the last video. I haven't put any food in today, and I just thought we don't really need to. I'm just really going to talk about how we're going and how we've done over the journey. It kind of seems like yesterday since we started, but at the same time, when I think about how many hours I've spent documenting this time, we have done a lot, and a lot has happened during that time, in the family as well. And yeah, it's interesting to look back and think that is just 1/3 of my year. It does seem surreal, in fact. I think at this point, I would also highly recommend to anyone to document this way on a daily basis, just to see what's going on with yourself, because we often don't tune in to our own bodies and to what's happening with us, and we just blindly go about our days. So it does make you stop and think about what's happening and why it's happening. Anyway, I hope you are doing well, and thanks for watching us.